Hey there, Randall Bennett from the website TechVi.com. Normally I'm hosting a show over there, not on my iSight camera, but on my nicer camera. And let me show you a quick thing about Midi and how I use Midi to make the show work. So my wife was nice enough to get me this Midi keyboard for my birthday. And it's called the Korg Nano Kontrol. It has these buttons and sliders, and these buttons can be configured to send whatever Midi message you want. In my case, I'm using them to send specific control cues. And they, the buttons light up. You can configure it so that the buttons can be held down. Like over here, you can see I have this stop button, and it'll stay actually pushed down. You can see it's still red. So yeah, you can configure them however you want and configure them to do a variety of different crazy things. I'm going to show you right now in a little split screen action what's going on behind the scenes over in Wirecast. So the software that I use to control everything is called Wirecast, and it lets me set it up like a regular TV switcher. And let me actually start recording over there. So I'm going to push this red record button, and it'll start recording over in Wirecast, as you can see next to me, hopefully, if I get the split screen right. So it starts playing, and then it brings in, and now I'm looking over at that other camera, and you can see I'm up there with the lower third, music's fading out, everything's kind of going according to plan. And now if you look over here, I'm going to, it's hard for me to see both ones. Now if you look, I'm going to push this slider down. You'll notice it makes my lower third go away. If I push it up, it brings in my lower third again, away, in, away. I can do a split screen. I've set it up so if I put this knob left and then right, now I'm talking to myself in a split screen. If I push this button again, split screen goes away back to the regular camera. If I push this button, actually I'll push this one so you can see. It takes a notepad window in this case and puts the lower third in there for Tom Merritt, who was on the show today. Back over to me, it does the same thing. Again, pushing the bottom takes the lower third out. And I basically have set up each of these channels to control a different camera. So I have a bunch of computers in the closet behind me, and they all are taking in Skype windows, which are then transmitted to Wirecast, and it controls them all. So how does this actually work? It's pretty simple. I use a program called Midi Pipe. So what you're taking a look at right now is the Midi Pipe control window. You can see over here on the left, there's Midi in, A-list, message converter. These all do different things. Basically what happens is you have a Midi device. In this case, I have a Midi in, and it does this thing. I put the Nano Control as the in. Then I have it run to A-list, and A-list is actually a way that I can see messages from the Midi controller. So like, for example, if I move around the slider, you'll see at the bottom there all those Midi messages being generated, and you'll see it has this data specifically. So you'll see this Midi data that gets generated when this is just me moving one of my sliders up and down. Happens with any of the sliders, or if I hit fast forward, you can see it does different buttons. So these are all the commands of when the Midi device is being pushed and when it's being released. The next pipe I have here is AppleScript trigger. So you'll see right here, I don't want to show you everything, but I have all these Apple scripts that I have created to trigger. The basic way it works is, Midi Pipe actually comes with the demo, so it's really easy to figure out. But if item 1 of message equals 176, so that's just, if you look back here at A-list, this first thing is 176, and I have it so that all my messages start at 176. And then the second item is 91. Now 91 corresponds to the specific button. So in this case, my third slider is 34. And 91, I think, 91 is going to be my button that does this 3 box. So you can see the 3 box is 91. Let me go back to that little thing again. Oh look, I'm behind, hey. So if you look, so that's 91. You can see it's pushed when the last value is the pressure, or the amount, the velocity, whatever you want to call it. So in this case, 127 is fully pushed down and 0 is up. So if I am sliding these, you'll see, let's do number 5. So number 5 is 54, and I have it when I slide it all the way down, it triggers an AppleScript. When I slide it all the way up, it triggers that AppleScript, which is the lower third. If I slide it back down, the lower third goes away. So that specific, basically I've just started it here so that every time one of these values is hit, so item 1 is 176, item 2 is 91, and item 3 is 127, that means that scenario will be triggered. So an Apple script will run. So I've created a bunch of Apple scripts that do things like bring in this lower third or switch to me with my lower third, and I can bring it in and out as I please. And every time this MIDI pipe program will launch these different scripts that make things work. Does that make sense? If you have questions, I'm putting up a full FAQ, and hopefully it'll make sense. I'm going to show you one last thing. So when I push the red, so you can see right now, actually, if you look at this camera, the red light is on record, and I'm going to push it, and you see I disappear over there. And it's really all there is to it. So hopefully hopefully it makes sense to you. If it doesn't, you can email me. Feel free, contact@techvi.com. We'll have, email me with questions. I'll reply to you directly, and we'll see if you can get you going, and we can change web video together. I'm Randall Bennett. Later.